going after people who just did a completely amazing thing. The only time when I mentioned that I'll be dancing is when I try to scare students in my class. So, how many of you like science fiction on television? Good, so this talk is for you. So I'll talk today about the ultimate science fiction on television, space operas, and basically what I'll try to do is I'll try to compare them using an engineering approach. What it means is that I'll put together first a few criteria by which I evaluate my science fiction shows, and then we'll see how they stack up. So when I watch science fiction, I want first and foremost compelling characters, people I really care about, not just aliens I care about too. I want really good plot, I want to be interested in what's going on, and I want plot that kind of ramps up as the show goes, and I want people who are not afraid, I want the show creators who are not afraid to actually change the show direction. Plus, I want shows that last, and I want shows that have sense of humor. So, the first space opera you see, or you think about, is Star Trek, which existed for many, many years in so many different interpretations, probably about 20 seasons altogether. But unfortunately, except for that lasting bit of it, Star Trek actually isn't that good. The characters are one-dimensional. The show itself can be best described, and in fact, Kelly, who gave me this phrase, as up in space. So, and it never changes, and the only idea of humor that they have is triples. So, Stargate SG-1 and the follow-up series tried to improve on some plot points and tried to make basically Star Trek only with better shows, and somewhat succeeded. Unfortunately, they still come from the Star Trek school of creating heroes, and I mean, Richard Dean Anderson just doesn't do humor well, no matter what you do. So, basically, they just didn't quite get it. Babylon 5, on the other hand, awesome characters, awesome plot. The arc went for 5 years. The show creators knew exactly where they were going. They had really good SGI. They had everything except for one little thing. Because the show was always under the threat of cancellation, J. Michael Straczynski, the creator of the show, wanted to finish it off early on. So the last season is essentially unwatchable because everything ended in the middle of season 3. So, yes, Firefly. That's what everybody thinks of when you think of a good science fiction show. So, amazing author team, really good characters, really good actors, very interesting to watch. This is what kills them, right? What is this number? Yes. So, other shows lasted that many seasons, right? So, you can watch it all in one day. So, as a result, there isn't really a single show on this list that is good in every category. Firefly just didn't have the time to really become an awesome show. However, there's one more that's left that actually matches all this. So, Farscape lasted for 4 seasons and ended with a really bang-up, with a really cool miniseries, and it's a show about this dude who basically came to a different part of galaxy and is now on a computer on this ship that's trying to survive. So the show had amazing season finales. They started by throwing their main characters out in space without suits. They ended second season by basically cutting the skull of the main character. They cloned the main character in season 3 and killed off one of the copies. And in season 4, he walked into a room full of enemies wearing a nuke. So, Farscape and every other science fiction show, every other space opera is essentially about a crew. As a crew, you go through life and you basically encounter adversity, and this is my crew. So these are the people to whom this talk actually is devoted, because a year ago, these guys actually gave me a present, the Farscape DVD set, and so I promised to them that I will tell them why Farscape actually is a really good show. So let me introduce these guys to you. So there's Eric, here's Kim, Haley, Matt, and so on. So if you see your name here, please stand up and show yourself. So what I want to say is that I feel really, really proud that for the past last 2 years, these guys and their friends chose to work with me and chose to hang out with me. And this is basically my thank you to them for being such an awesome crew. So for everybody else, what I want to say is this. First and foremost, as an engineer, you need to find a crew. So find it and be good to your crew. That's one. Two, watch all those episodes of Farscape whose titles you saw on this presentation. Thank you very much.